What is up, Eagles fans? Eagles down 17-10. It is halftime. We are breaking it down. Joining me, he is Shane at Shane Half NFL. What's up, Shane?
What's up, Dibes? Do the Eagles play football today? Have you seen them anywhere?
I haven't seen anybody other than A.J. Brown because they should just call it the Philadelphia Browns because A.J. Brown has been everything and more. We'll get into that. But my gosh, should we start with the good or should we start with the bad?
Well, you already mentioned A.J. Brown, and I think that wraps up the good. So let's dive into the bad.
Why do the Eagles continue to pound Kenny Gainwell into the ground in the red zone, Shane? What am I missing here? It's like death taxes and the Eagles failing with Kenny Gainwell in the red zone. That fumble on the 3-yard line after a 10-play, nearly 6 minutes, 72-yard drive. We have A.J. Brown carrying the Eagles offense down the field in a huge moment. Yeah, Kenny Gainwell coughs up the football again. What do the Eagles see in this guy?
I have no idea. The Eagles, you got to hand it to them. They've leveled up their offense. We've gone from wasting plays, handing the ball off to Kenny Gainwell, to wasting entire drives. Is there a more predictable outcome for the Philadelphia Eagles offense than 1st and goal, bring Kenny Gainwell off the bench and hand it to him to lose yards? To be honest, I'm glad he fumbled there, because I couldn't have handled a 2nd down draw and a 3rd down draw before we kicked a field goal. So at least we just got all the bad out of the way on one play. We didn't have to watch 2 QB draws after that.
We're living in a world where Kenny freaking Gainwell has twice as many touches as DeAndre Swift in the first half. Kenny Gainwell has 6 touches. Gainwell has 3. I don't get it. Again, got to give it out to the Commanders. Shout out to the Commanders who continue to play the Eagles tough, especially on the line of scrimmage. The Washington Commanders game plan: pass on 1st down, get into 3rd and shorts, 3rd and manageables. They have been absolutely killing it in those situations. I'll pull up my data in a second, but they're moving the ball effectively. 7-yard pass, 8-yard pass, 9-yard pass. And those short passes are setting up some big plays. Let's stick to the defense. I thought that, Brian Griffin says, the Eagles' defensive line isn't getting as much pressure as they should. I thought the Eagles' safety of all the games, I was so excited to see what we would get here. They have looked very bad in coverage at times. Even Bradbury probably had a missed pick 6. If he catches that one on the boundary, he's gone. He goes the entire length of the football field. The defense, what's your thoughts?
Terrible. I mean, the defense has more holes than Swiss cheese. I don't know how Washington punted on their first drive. I missed that one. I was a little late getting to the game. I legitimately don't know. How did the defense stop them on a possession? The only other time they've stopped them, it took them going for it on a 4th and 1, which was the right call, but lining up in shotgun and then motioning to an empty backfield. One of the worst things you could do on a 4th down. I mean, the defense is a joke today. The defense in the first half against Washington has already given up more first downs and more yardage than they did in the entire game against Miami last week.
Crazy.
I don't know what they're doing today. It's a joke. This defense is a travesty. How do you go get momentum? You go score to cut it to 10-13. You get the ball after half. Who knew that 34 seconds was too much time for the great Sam Howell right down the field in field goal range? And of course, Joey Sly hits his career-long field goal against the Eagles because why not? I'm sick of playing the Commanders. Every time we play them, the Eagles don't show up. I hate watching this team play Washington. It's disgusting.
Yeah, man. So here's the stats. On the first drive, on 1st downs, the Commanders had 3 passes for 21 yards. On the 2nd drive, they had 1 for 7. On the 3rd drive, 4 passes for 40 yards. They did have 1 incomplete pass. It didn't take until their 4th drive where they ran for the first time on 1st down, and that was the drive. The Commanders turned it over on downs on a 4th and 1 where they probably should have done a tush push, and it was an incomplete on 4th and 1. Some comments real quick. Steven says, where's the pass rush? Not a great half for Davis, Carter, or Dean. Carter did have 1 pressure that led to an incomplete deep pass, I believe. Steven, Washington approach in the trenches has been solid, but we refuse to play press, man. Jody says, playing down to our competition. Can we get a 3 and out? The Commanders in the first half are 3 of 5.
3 and out. Can we get 3 incompletions? Sam Howell, 24 of 26 passing for. Sam Howell is on pace to throw for 450 yards in this game. Like 3 and out. Can we just get 3 incompletions?
Let's keep it rolling to some comments. The offense is better when they move fast, standing in their formation for 10 to 15 seconds. The offense really looked sluggish out the gate, man, which is shocking. It's also shocking that Sam Howell is torching the Eagles because coming into this in 3 home games, that Sam Howell has 6 interceptions. Doesn't look like it. It's like the Eagles are his Super Bowl. They every single time they play the Birds, they give us their best. Steven says Bradbury in the slot is not my favorite positioning strategy. Often, at the snap that the defense is going to give up yards on the play. That's been really the theme of this entire first half. Short passes, get the ball out fast. Let's go to the offense before we get to some more comments, Shane. Let's look at this kind of game plan by the Philadelphia Eagles. They have 3 carries by running backs in this one. 3 carries. Any take?
I don't care. I mean, Hurts is 20 to 25. The passing offense is fine. You're not going to hear me pounding the table to run the ball more. You've also got 6 touches for running backs out of the backfield. So I don't care about that. I just think the defense needs to step up, and Kenny Gainwell should not touch the ball in the red zone for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Steven says we may as well just tell Washington that we are passing straight up. I get that, Shane, but you got to, at least what the Commanders are doing is you saw it. They're using their short game plan to set up bigger plays. You saw the big run from Brian Robinson. You saw them go deep to Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin. When are the Eagles going to do that? I guess you have, unless it's a one-handed touchdown catch to A.J. Brown. Let's go to Jalen Hurts. Let me scooch up this box score real quick. I thought he had a few misses from the jump. He had 3 kind of bad passes. Again, a lot of dink and dunks to Gainwells and Smith and Goddard. And then luckily we have a Megatron. What is it? What is Calvin Johnson's nickname? I'm drawing a blank.
That's it. Megatron.
Thank God we have a Megatron on this offense because he's been everything. A.J. Brown, 6 catches, 88 yards, on path to break a lot of records. But how would you grade Jalen Hurts in the first half?
I give him a solid B+. I think he's played fine. The offensive line has not done him any favors. Opeta was atrocious before he got hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Also, hopefully Tyler Steen pulls like a DeAndre Swift all a week 2, and the coaches are like, why did we have him on the bench behind Sua Opeta? Jordan Mailata has been dreadful so far. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, they've got his number. So, Hurts has had to move a lot more than I would like for him to, especially with that bone bruise on his knee. But I think Hurts has played pretty well. Generally, if Kenny Gainwell doesn't fumble the ball, the Eagles have 17 points in the first half, and you're pretty excited about that. So it comes down to red zone execution on offense for me, and that's been an issue all year, and it's the same issue. It's going to keep being the same issue until they stop handing the ball to Gainwell in the red zone.
Yeah, that was my number one key to an Eagles victory, the red zone. They were 4 of 6 against the Dolphins. That was a killer. Just such a game-changing play. And then he gets 4 touches on the next series. Steve says, I feel like we have way too many second and third and longs than we should. As I said, that's what the Commanders are doing better than the Eagles. They are getting production on those first downs. I miss Sanders. No. Where do the Eagles go from here, man? We only got a minute. Do you want to see Penny in this offense?
I do. He's got the 1 carry this year, and he looks slow. I imagine he's just pretty well cooked, which doesn't make sense why they kept him on the roster instead of a guy like Trey Sermon if they weren't going to use him. But to me, it's just stop handing the ball to Gainwell in the red zone. That's the only complaint I have offensively. I know people are going to be upset about the lack of running. I don't care. The passing game's working. Just keep feeding the ball to Brown, keeps feeding the ball to Devonta Smith that's had a pretty good half. And I don't care about running the football. Go play some defense and win a football game.
The one-handed touchdown catch to A.J. Brown was exhibit Z, or whatever you want to call it. Just give the ball to your playmakers. You're in the red zone or you're down there. Just give the ball to your best players, not Kenny Gainwell. I let your playmakers make a play. Give them a chance. Stop with the Gainwell. It's nuts, man. Tim says, late to the party. Why is Swift not getting carries? I don't know. I mean, big picture wise, we all kind of saw this coming. I limiting Swift, keeping him healthy down the stretch is probably a good move in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I am shocked by the Eagles' lack of running the football, at least against the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, they didn't have a great run defense, but they didn't abandon it. They kept to it, and they kept a defense off balance at times. And that's what set up the deep balls in the second half. So I don't know. It's a questionable thing, at least on my end. Chip Chase with a tight end solved. Where do the Eagles go from here? They get ball first. We're starting the second half here. Do the Eagles squeak it out, Tim or Shane?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to win by 3 in overtime again.
We're going to overtime, aren't we, Shane?
Yeah. Back-to-back Commanders 1:00 games overtime.
I can't, man. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Shane, where can we find you, man?
On Twitter at Shane Half NFL. I'm live tweeting the game, and then I'll be on the BGN post-game show after the game, or you guys can check out the Edge of Philly Sports post-game show as well.
All right, guys, we'll see you in a little bit. For Shane, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.